save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
3,000, 4,000.
215, even more.
Facebook for 200 plus. 400 bucks of savings. Okay, so yes, fire something up first. Eugene, come.
You're done?
I believe you are online. Let me just do some checking on my phone side first.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, anybody, if you're watching this live, say hi, everybody. All right. Okay.
All set up?
How? Guys, whoever that's on the comments, say hi to us. Thank you.
Hi, hello guys.
Okay, Eugene. Hey.
Yes.
So, quick intro. We all know Eugene as the guy who immediately comes up with average savings of how many thousand per year. Okay, and it's something that has created a massive following amongst all our people. You know, it's to the point where, right, we the Aurizn team, every time we post deal of the day, right, we will just look, when is Eugene going to comment? When is Eugene going to comment? But before we go to that, right, guys, I just wanted to share with you, I have known Eugene for a bit longer than that. We all in the Aurizn team, we have known Eugene for a bit longer than that. You have joined us in Enduro.
Correct.
All right. And between me and you personally, we have encountered each other before, all the way back in the days of Ottawa Forum.
Yeah, man, that's like what, 20 years ago?
Yeah, got so long, brother. Yeah,
yes,
almost 2
20
decades
years ago. Yeah, man.
What was your nickname at that time?
I'm V-Spec.
V-Spec, yes. I remember you were either V-Spec or V6er or
Yeah, V-Spec, that's me.
Yeah. So you memang right from the start you're a car enthusiast, right?
Right.
Hey, so tell us, bro. I know for a fact that right today you drive an S2000, but
yes.
What were the cars before in your past?
Okay. Well, they're not that interesting per se.
Yeah.
My first car, not really my first car, it's a shared car with my sister. So the first car that I ever drive legally is a 94 Proton Vira 1.5 automatic. And it's the OOT spec one, meaning to say it's the 4G15 single overhead camshaft. With the carburetor. 3-speed auto with the carburetor.
Yeah.
So that was what I was driving back in 96.
Okay.
Yeah. 96. Yeah. For a couple of years. It's a shared car. Then, I won't call it graduated to, but the next car that I will be driving is also a shared car with my sister. Is a Daihatsu Charade.
Daihatsu Charade? Okay.
Yes.
Which Charade
is
it?
The G200 version, which is the 4th generation, if I'm not wrong.
Is it the okay? That one
is rare that
one was
the Tomaso version. Sorry?
That was quite popular, right, in our markets at the time.
Yes, but I was driving this car not in Malaysia, even in Australia.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I remember that day you mentioned you spent time in Australia.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's a Charade. G200 4th generation, 4-speed automatic.
4-speed auto, yeah.
The slack part is there's no aircon.
So after that, you got one extra gear lah. You got one extra gear.
Yes. So okay, there's an improvement there. One extra gear.
Yeah.
But there's no aircon. And there is no power window. No power window.
Yeah. Hey, you know, actually, right, in Australia, right, people find it perfectly acceptable to drive cars that are no aircon, no power window.
Yeah.
Very, very kosong spec car. For them, they find it perfectly acceptable.
It's fine because, I mean, unlike here where it's hot 365 days a year, it's not hot 365 days a year over there.
Yeah.
You know, you can survive for a couple of months without aircon. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
savings, purchase part of the car.
Yeah. Mm.
But it's an option there. You know, when you buy a brand new car, you can spec it if you want aircon or you do not want aircon. So it's like an optional savings points from there if you buy a new car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I came back, I start back with the Vira. So that became my personal car, no longer a shared car. Yeah. Yep.
So
and from there,
yeah.
Yep.
But we have came a long way since the Vira, right?
Correct. I guess when we met each other is the time when I got the Perdana V6.
Yes. I think I can't remember you had a Perdana V6.
Yes. That was in 2001. Had the car for 5 years, and that's the most memories concerning automobile is with the car.
Do you miss that car?
I do miss it. But then there are always other things that I want to experience.
Yeah.
It's not to say I want a better car, but I want a different experience of a different car. Yeah. So I had that for 5 years. So I'll be working in the employment industry for 5 years. I had a little bit of savings. And I knew I need to get something which I really wanted since I was young.
Yeah.
So I knew what I wanted in my life back in 95 when I first saw this particular car. So I knew I need a Skyline in my life. So, but the unfortunate thing is, at that point in time, I have to empty out all my savings.
Yeah.
So all my savings meaning to say, from the day where you were a toddler, where you get unfound money from your parents, from your relatives, it all goes to a bond, and it goes to an FD, and it's all those money. Unlike at Rosie, which is a lot, mine is not a lot.
Yeah.
So, I remember clearly at that point when I empty out everything.
Yeah.
All my savings, all my FD, I open up everything. I had 60,000.
Okay.
60,000. Okay. And then I have an extra saving in another account.
Yeah.
And that account meaning is my car.
Yeah.
So I got to sell my Perdana.
Yeah.
My Perdana net me 38,000 ringgit.
Okay.
So adding together the 98,000 cash to use to splurge on a car.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really cut it actually. Back in 2006, the 34 Skyline which I bought was 145,000.
Okay.
So I'm shocked.
You were like 2/3 the way there already.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And I do not want to loan a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to finance, a monthly repayment fee which I'll get stuck on later on.
Yeah.
In case anything happens to my employment.
That explains the average savings part, guys.
Correct. I want to pay up as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I calculated it out. And I took a loan for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I bite the bullet.
Yeah.
And I took up the 34.
Yeah.
So those are the
yeah, it's my daughter. Glenn, this is the reality of working from home.
So yeah, the 34 gave me a whole different experience compared to the Perdana.
Hey, but bro,
the Perdana I met, yes.
When in 94, right, when you were dreaming of a Skyline GTR, that time wasn't the time of the R34. That would have been the R32. 32.
Okay, then let me tell you about when I knew what I wanted. Okay, I guess with a lot of people, a lot of car guys, they'll be like, oh, I started playing with toy cars when they were little and they were new.
Yeah.
But yes, I play with Matchbox toy cars. I do. I cannot accurately say it's because of that ignited my passion. It's not.
No.
It's not. I only realized how deep I am in sometime in secondary school. And that is when I saw a photo of this particular car in a magazine.
Yeah.
Back then there's no internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Resources are scarce. It has to be printed matter.
You all depend on the magazines.
Correct.
Come once a month, right?
Yeah. So I was flipping the car magazine and I saw this blue car.
Yeah.
It is an R32 Skyline GTR. The iconic blue R32 Skyline.
Yes.
Which is raced in the Group A or Japan Grand Touring Championship.
Yes.
Yeah. So that car kind of like burned an image in my head. Wow. What is this car all about? And from there, I did my research and I knew more about it. And the more I found out about it, the more in-depth I got into it.
Yeah.
I knew this is a car that is very, very special. Yeah. But that's just about it. That is just physical, what I see on print. Yeah. Two-dimensional.
Yeah.
I have not seen the real car at all.
Yeah.
I have no experience with it at all.
Yeah.
But that changed when I was in Form 5.
Form 5.
In Form 5, my dad took me to the Langkawi International Motor Show.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
So we flew there.
Yeah.
And that opened up my eyes. Yeah, shitload of cars, of course. But there's only one that stands out. And there's only one of that particular car in the whole show. And that car is an R33 Skyline GTR in midnight purple.
The Langkawi Motor Show would have been about 1996, right? If I remember my childhood correctly.
I think it's like
95, Around there, right.
Yeah, 95, 96.
Wow, you mean that time our motor show got Skyline come one?
Yes. So I saw that car, I took a photo with the car, and then I knew this is what I need in my life.
That's your future.
I need to have this car. Yes, I need that in my life.
And there's a lot of your story, right, mirrors a lot of people whereby when they were young, they see a car, they are inspired by it, and that the dream of that car becomes a guiding light for them to go and achieve something so that they one day can own the car. So you started off in 1994. You look at the GTR 32, right? Then you saw the GTR 33 in person. So is it safe to say that you are a GTR man? You are a fan of GTR lineage, regardless of generation, because you end up owning a GTR 34.
Yes. It's like some guys they knew they are true all-out Evo guy, or true all-out WRX guy, or Supra guy.
Yeah.
I know I'm a Skyline guy.
Yeah.
But yes, throughout the lineage, I am attracted by it.
Yeah.
Except the newer ones the current one which but then that's not a Skyline actually.
Yeah. But actually, it's interesting that you raised that. So I want to ask, right, you as a fan from the GTR 32, 33, 34, actually, how do you feel? What feelings or whatever evokes you from the R35? How does it, to you? How does it feel? What does it do to you? Does it do anything to you?
On the 35?
Yeah.
Okay. I've driven a 35.
You own
it's
a 35.
A fast car. No, I've driven it.
Yeah.
It's a fast car. And for me, that's just about it.
Yeah.
It's just a fast car. It doesn't evoke any feeling.
Yeah.
It doesn't stir my soul.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything to me except that it's a fast car.
Yeah.
An idiot-proof car, you can drive the heck out of it. And, super car killer.
Yeah.
But, speed isn't everything.
Correct.
Power isn't everything. You need to feel in tune with the car. You need to be one with the car, roll your own gears, do your own shifting.
Yeah.
That is when you are driving a car.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider myself a devotee of the GTR line, but I would say that I have a liking for the R34. And you know, the thing is that when I was reading about the R35 when I was much younger, right, I recall feeling impressed with what I read, but I was never stirred to put up a poster of that car in my bedroom wall. You know, I would set an R34 as my background, as my desktop wallpaper, for example, or put a poster of it. But somehow the R35 doesn't give me that. It doesn't make me. Yeah, I admire that car, but it doesn't give me a lot. It doesn't, like, you know, make me lust for it. You know, it's like I read about how this car wall up Porsches, wall up, you know, Ferrari supercar on a track, and even today, performance of their car is still competitive. But yeah, it even from, you know, as somebody who back at that time who all we have is just reading, right? Somehow the R35 didn't generate the emotions like the predecessors. But of course, I could be speaking unfairly because I've never driven the 35. But it never evoked that. So it's interesting that you mentioned, you know, the same having lived with that, driven that before.
Yeah.
So what was it for you after the R34? Do you still have the R34?
No, I sold it. I had the 34 for 10 years plus, 10 years, 4 months. Yeah. And then I sold off the car. Yeah. And this is a funny story.
Yeah.
The S2000 came after that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actively looking for S2000. That was not it at all. It is an impulse buy.
Yeah.
So on the day that I hand over the 34, I hand it over in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So in the morning I'm free.
Yeah.
And I decided to go and check out this S2000 for sale. So I went to see it. It's not where it's supposed to be. Okay, because the owner took it away. And the odd thing is, I saw it on the highway. I chanced upon that car I'm supposed to see on the highway. I followed the owner. The owner noticed me, and he went a couple of rounds because he thought I'm going to hijack his car.
Yeah.
So until he make a U-turn, he looked at me, I looked at him, and I waved hello. Only then he continued to his journey, his intended journey, where he wants to go. Stop his car. I stopped mine. We introduced each other. And I said, I'm interested in the car. Can you take me for a round? And we did it. I didn't even drive the car.
Yeah.
He took me for a round. He came back. And it's just that. Done deal. We discussed on the price and that's it.
Okay, if I may ask, right, what made you decide after 10 years to sell the GTR, to sell the 34?
Of course, it's not an easy decision. I love the car to boot. It has never failed on me, never break down at all. Super reliable, good power, good torque. What happened is that on the last 3 years of ownership, I rarely drive the car. So we have a MTV in the household. So I'll be using that.
Yeah.
So the car was left idle in the car park. In a year, I probably have done about, if I'm lucky, 1,000 km in a year.
Yeah.
So, you know, with cars, if you leave it idle, things will go wrong.
Yeah.
So
I totally know that. Yeah.
So the thing that go wrong is minor. It's no big deal. It's when I want to drive it, my fuel hose burst. So it was spewing fuel all over the engine bay.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, this can't be the way. I must be driving this car. The longer I leave it idle, more things will happen. And that's when I decided to put it out in the market. And yeah, and it was sold.
Yeah. Hey, so in tradition of your usual comment, how much average savings did your buyer get?
Okay, the thing with the 34 is if I want to keep it until now, the new owner, I'm not going to get any savings. But back then, when I sold it, I didn't really get a super good price for it.
Yeah.
So I lost a bit of money.
You lost a bit of money.
Yeah. So, but the buyer gains a bit of money.
Yeah.
So the buyer gains
But the classic Skyline GTRs, right, the 32, 33, 34, they have all appreciated in price in recent years, right?
It's not just those cars. It's all the 90s era UDM cars have gone nuts in pricing.
It's crazy. I see, wow. These are the real rich people cars, you know.
Yeah. It's an example. Recently transacted 34 was 460,000 cash.
460,000 cash.
Transacted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
And that's just the respec version. The special edition version is higher.
Ooh. But hey, bro, actually, right? Before we go to your S2000, right? Let's focus on your R34 first. I think for a lot of our viewers, this is a car that we dream of, we aspire to. But 460,000 ringgit cash buy means that it's going to be a dream car forever for a lot of people. But what's it like to live with that car? I mean, you say it's very reliable, but I mean, do you have to? There are sure certain things like some sort of preventive maintenance that you have to think about, or am I just too used to thinking like a Continental car owner?
Yeah, well, I can't speak for other people's car. Like for my car, all I ever needed is an oil change.
Yeah.
The oil filter change.
Yeah.
Every interval.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else to maintain. It's just like a regular car. The only issue in spending money is when you modify the car.
Correct.
That's when you spend money. But to maintain it, it's just like any regular Japanese car.
Okay.
There's no special things that you need to do or special things that you need to spend on. You just oil and oil filter.
Oh, so you never have to do things like change diff oil, all those things lah.
I do, but those are long interval. You know, it's not like your every 5,000 km you change that.
Of course.
I mean, every other car will have their own automatic transmission fluid change, manual transmission fluid change. It's just like one of those things.
Correct. I mean, as a BMW owner, right, there's a list of things in my head that when I look at the car, right, wow, these are things I have to take care. So I'm wondering, is that because the funny thing is, right, I have never owned a Japanese car before. I have never owned a Japanese car before. So in a way, owning a Japanese car to me is a bit like a dark art. Because to me is the unknown.
I guess it's like what I mentioned. Maintaining the car is no big deal. Oil change, oil filter. It is only when your hand is itchy and you want to change things, you want to modify things, you want to soup it up. That is where the big bucks is. Yeah.
So 10 years, you never made any major modifications to the car lah?
I did. I guess my approach to modifying cars are sort of like OEM plus. You know, you don't go totally too crazy. So yeah, I touched every single component of the car, from the body kit, from the suspension, turbo, ECU, exhaust, intake, interior, everything, every single thing I touched. But it's like the OEM plus approach. You don't go overboard. So it makes a super healthy, super reliable, 350 wheel horse, 480 Newton meter of torque at the wheel is plenty enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you move from the 34 to the S2000.
Yes.
So that's how long have you had the S2000?
In 3 months' time, maybe 4 years.
Yeah. So how's life with the S2000?
Actually, it's great. Contrary to a lot of what people think, they think that it might not be as enjoyable as a 34, but it presents its enjoyment in different methods, in different ways.
Yes.
You know, it's not all about speed. It's not all about the amount of torque you have, the pull, the G that you feel. It's enjoyable, but in a different sense.
Yeah.
You know, with the top down, you get all your senses tickled. You know, sense of smell, sense of touch, sense of Everything is tickled. You feel the heat from the sun.
Yeah.
So it's different, and you don't have to drive as fast to feel exhilarated.
Yeah.
I could be pottering along at 120, 140.
Yes.
And it actually feels just faster than going 180 in the 34.
Yeah.
Because everything is open. I feel everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I assume most of the time you drive with the top down lah.
Lately no lah, because cannot drive anywhere.
Oh well. But but the I mean besides the open the top down what else in the S2000 that to you represents a highlight, of the car, of your motoring experience with the car? Any other interesting factoids about the car that our viewers will find interesting?
Okay. It's not speed, but it's how you feel connected with the car. The car has excellent gearbox.
Yeah. Oh, Honda manuals, my God.
Yes. It's super excellent gearbox and excellent engine.
Yeah.
The great thing about the car is you have to, in order to feel that you are actually pushing it, you have to drive as if you're going to blow the engine. You cannot drive it like a Honda City, treat it nice. No, it needs to be wrecked, it needs to be punished.
That's what they say. That's what they say about rotary engines.
Yeah.
But
you need to rev the hell out of it, and then you enjoy the car.
Yeah. But I think you have so basically I think you have these two into the 34 and the S2000. I would say these are your highlights. And of course the Perdana V6 was the car of your formative motoring years. But I'm sure alongside these cars, because I know you're a married man, you have a kid, so you also have other family cars that operate alongside these cars, right?
Yes. In the household, we have a 2004 Honda Jazz IV10, the GD3.
Yeah.
And 2010 ANH20 Wellfire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But there's a curveball.
Yeah. What?
And that curveball is a 71 Classic Mini.
Wow. Wow.
So that's my only experience in continental car.
In a non-Japanese, you have the Perdana V6, but in a non-Japanese engineered car.
Yes, that's the British car.
Yeah. Hey, this is something that I'm sure a lot of our viewers would be curious to know, right? What gave you the idea to keep commenting all these average savings per year? What triggered it? I think I was probably one of the earliest to notice it. It's like wow, every time but it's nice. I enjoy it. It's like every time when we post a deal of the day, Chan Eu Jin will be there like clockwork. Average savings of 27,000 ringgit, 571 per year, and then plus with the emoticon.
The funny thing is, when I started to do that, honestly, I was a bit apprehensive. I was a bit afraid that the Aurizn guys might not really like it because I'm making fun of their posting.
We love it.
But the funny thing is, a lot of people find it hilarious.
Yeah.
Which I don't expect.
Yeah. Sometimes, right? I will when I'm browsing on Facebook, I will make sure to set that post, right, comment as myself, and I go and like your one.
The idea behind that is that most of the cars that are shared by Aurizn is Continentals, and they suffer heavy depreciation. So I thought it'd be quite funny to look at it in a different perspective.
Yes.
There's always two sides to look at things. I think like two sides to a coin, two sides to a fence, or two sides to a story. So on a more positive perspective, I mean, you think about it. To the first owner, there is a depreciation to him. to the subsequent owner, he is actually experiencing savings.
Yeah.
So in that sense of the world, depreciation and savings, actually, they're the same.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just which side of the fence you're looking at it from.
Correct.
So in Aurizn, hosting is about selling cars.
Correct.
So we should be looking at it from the buyer's perspective. And from the buyer's perspective, you are actually saving money from buying this car.
Correct.
And that's how I look at it. But they say it's oddly enough, a lot of people find it hilarious.
Yes. To us, right, it's now our daily post of deal of the day, right, is not complete when Chan Eu Jin haven't commented on it. but we love it. We love the thing is that at Aurizn, right, we treasure this interaction with our audience. We treasure our audience. To us, you guys are our friends. So when you guys come to our platform, you guys have fun interacting with us, with each other. We feel good seeing it. We feel good being a part of it.
It's like the new forum. Nowadays forum not thing anymore. So this kind of interaction within the Facebook post is like the new forum now.
Yeah. Last time everybody was in Laoyat forum, and last time those days, Ottawa forum was also a very, very popular online hangout spot.
Right.
I spent a lot of time there myself during my late teen years, commenting with other people and all. So yeah. Okay. Hey, so
that platform gave us a lot of friends. You and me, a lot of friends from that.
Yes. So is it safe for me to assume that for most of your life you have bought used cars and enjoyed the average savings of yearly savings of 20k, 30k per year?
Yes, except the Perdana.
The Perdana would have been new right?
Yes, that one I gave the whole lot of savings to the next guy.
Yeah, man. Because I think when you sold that car, probably was when when people were already aware of the Perdana V6 famous gearbox issue, right?
Correct.
And that would have impacted the value of the car quite a bit.
Yes, it does. So hang on.
Okay.
I'll calculate for you.
Okay. Please calculate. Meanwhile, let me just while you calculate. Wow, we have got Darren Chang in the house. It's the feel-good factor knowing how much the other guy lost on his car. KC says, keep up the good work. Love your postings. And one of my own, somebody from Aurizn asked, wondering which first post the legend started commenting average savings.
Need to think back history, man.
Yeah.
So for that Perdana, I gave the next guy 12,000 ringgit of savings averagely per year for him.
Seriously, now you think about it, right? When you buy new car, you really burn a lot in your depreciation, man. A lot of cash is burned on your depreciation.
Correct.
No joke.
So actually, after that, I really decided, and I told myself and many other people also, I don't think I will ever buy a brand new car again.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would still encourage people to buy new cars, because people who buy new cars keep the industry moving, so that people like you and me can continue to buy old cars.
Yes, for our sake, please buy new cars.
Please buy new cars, okay? People who are watching, please buy new cars so that the rest of us can buy used cars as well. Hey, but Eugene, on the topic of savings, gotta ask you, have you tried Evo Club insurance on any of your cars?
Actually, the first car I want to try was the F2000. Because it's highly driven nowadays in MCO.
Yeah.
But my insurance is only due in April.
Okay.
So the first car in the household that is due for insurance is the Honda Jet.
Right.
And I use that for the car. So Evo insurance, saved me quite a fair bit.
Do you mind sharing with us how much?
My quote from my previous insurance company was about 500.50 cents, I think. So there.
550 cents, okay.
Yeah. So when I switched to pro mileage, hang on, I wrote it down somewhere. How much did I say? Oh, I paid 261 ringgit for the car.
Wow.
For the car's insurance.
That's like almost half.
That is actually more than what you advertised. Because what was advertised was 40% savings, up to 40% savings.
Yeah.
But in my case, when I calculate out, I got 47% of savings for that car.
That's nice.
I mean, if you look at the monetary value, it's only 200 ringgit.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Yeah,
but in terms of percentage, it's huge.
It is. Imagine when you insure your S2000.
Yeah. Because we are in this new world where people don't drive around much, or they can't drive far.
Yeah.
So mileage is low. So when I check on the charts, my mileage for 1 year period was only 4,000 km. So it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Why am I paying more for something which I'm not using?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that this is something that a lot of countries overseas have practiced, and it makes sense for all parties involved, because for the insurance company, a car that does 4,000 km a year versus one that does 20,000 km a year, the 4,000 km a year car is a lower risk car and definitely can be considered for lower premium.
Yes, I think it's like no difference to what countries abroad practice in their insurance in terms of age.
Yeah.
Younger people pay a higher premium.
Yeah.
Older folks pay lesser.
Yeah.
It's all based on experience.
Yes.
So it's like the same thing. You have higher risk.
Yeah.
If you are more on the road.
Yeah.
Or if you're a young guy.
Yeah.
Versus being an older fella and lesser time on the road.
Yeah. Okay. So here's something that I one more thing I want to ask you. What do you do for a living?
Okay, I run a business called JDM Autolink.
Yeah.
I started this in 2010.
2010.
It's a business that's focused. Yeah. So it's about 11 years this year.
Yeah.
11 years old this year. So it's a business that focuses on bringing used pre-owned parts and also new parts for Japanese performance sports cars.
Yeah.
So, and of course, it's also new OEM parts also I do bring in.
Yeah.
But my focus in JDM Autolink is very niche. I'm looking at a very niche market, very targeted.
Yeah.
I only cater to cars that are in the 90s era Japanese sports cars, which are your usual RX-7, NSX, Skylines, all the Type Rs, WRX, Evo, those kind of cars. Yeah, so that's what I do.
All those cars like Lexus IS, you don't layan one.
I won't keep any inventory for it, but I will layan when there is a request to bring in items for it.
So those other cars you stock up mainly for all these 90s sports cars, but everything else is on a per order basis. When you get an order, you go and you will.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, it's not limited to what I've just said. I mean, I have friends that are upgraded to exotics. So if they need parts, I can bring in too. I brought in parts for Porsches, for Lamborghinis, for Ferraris, for McLaren, and it's all on per order basis. And those I can do, but it's not something that I would stock up in my shop.
So you are basically you are doing selling of parts from Japan lah. You import parts from Japan.
Correct. Correct. That's correct.
Japan is the best place to get used parts from, man, because the Japanese, they really know how to take care of their cars.
Correct.
Yeah.
They look after their stuff and they're also very honest. If there's something wrong, they'll tell you there's something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would assume that the whole idea of starting this business was because you own R34. But what is specifically the story that that triggered you to say, okay, you know what, I'm not buying parts from what I'm going to shop that, to ship them in myself. What inspired you to do this?
We have to rewind back then.
Yeah.
Rewind back when I first got the R34.
Yeah.
And when I got the R34, I started a blog. Back then, blog was quite popular. Not sure about now, but where I document every single thing I've done to the car. From mundane things like, regular oil change to mods that I've done to the car, to trips I have done, places I go. So from there, I got quite big on my blog. And to the point where people start to ask me, where do you get this part from? Can you get this for me? And then I realized there is actually a market that exists for people looking for stuff that I'm doing for my own car. And I knew that maybe one day this is what I'll be doing. Because 80% of the things I've done to the car, to the 34, I brought in myself. Not locally. And this includes big items like body parts, rims, all I ship it on my own.
Then you pass
so
on
if
yourself?
I can do it, no, I do pass on myself. But all the parts I bring it on my own. So I was thinking, if I can do it for myself, I can do it for other people as well.
Yeah.
So
brilliant. That is brilliant.
So So I was also in the automotive industry for quite a bit. To the point where I realized it's time to go out. It's either I try it now or I don't. I was 32 at that time and decided this is it lah. Let's just give it a go. And here we are now.
And what were you doing before that?
Before that, okay, interesting thing since you asked that. My first job, I was studying in Subang.
Yes.
Staying in Sunway.
Yes.
So Sunway is like the epicenter of workshops.
Yes.
So I tried to find a job in one of those shops so that I can be near the cars and see what they'll be doing.
I know the feeling. Yes.
So the first shop I went to was the old guys will know this. It's Links Power. They are Digo place at that time. So I went in look for a job. And then they told me they are not hiring part-timers. Because I was studying at that time. So they only want permanent staff. So okay, fine. I did the next best thing. The next best thing is directly behind that shop is USR battery, which is still here today. So I went to USR battery and I got a job as a general clerk. They pay me 800 ringgit a month. And in my free time, I will go down to the back and check out what the shop behind is doing. So that is my first foray into the automotive industry. But after that, after studies all done with, I came back, but I wasn't in the auto industry. I was in the IT industry for a fair bit. Yes. I did that for 4 years. And then I decided to do something which I really love. Let's try to go back into the automotive industry. And send out some resumes and all. And I ended up in Hyundai. And I was there for 6 years. I did sales operation. I did dealer management. I did dealer enhancement. And then I did parts before I left. And I joined BMW Toyota to do product planning. So I was there for a short stint, and then that is when I decided to it's time to move out, and that's when I started JJM Autolink.
Were you already? Have you already started your family at the time when you started the business, when you moved out?
Yes. I think at that time when I started JJM Autolink, my kid was not even a year old.
It's a very courageous decision to branch out like that when you have a young kid, with you. That is a very, very courageous decision. Really respect you for that.
But it comes into sacrifice. There have to be a backup. So my wife is my backup. In case it doesn't work out, there's always something else in there. So we need that to move ahead. If not, it will never happen. It also come to a point where I'm quite tired of being in the corporate world, and maybe it's time to be the boss, be the coolie, be everything on my own.
Would it be safe to say that it is your love for cars, yourself as a car enthusiast that propelled you to where you are today?
Oh, it certainly helped. It's cliche, but like what they say, if you do what you love, you're not actually working. So it's something like that, you know. I enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
So I don't find it a drag to drag myself to work. Because if I go to the shop, I'm happy because these are the things that I like.
Hey bro, where's your shop? I mean, for the benefit of our viewers, where's your shop?
My shop is in Bandar Sangway. It's facing the Rock Cafe food court.
Okay.
Yeah, but you will never find it because there's no signage. My business, I don't do walk-ins. It's all by appointment basis. Also because for safety reason, I do appointment and people that I know or people who have contacted me. There's no walk-in at all. Also compounded by the fact that most of my customers are actually abroad. So 80% of my stuff are sent overseas.
Oh wow! So what, people from, I don't know, let's say maybe could be where, Australia, UK, Indonesia, whatever. They also ship the parts from Japan, and then after you ship back out some more.
Yes, correct. Wow. Because because JDM Autolink is focusing on a very niche market. What I sell, what I stock up are things that are rare, they're hard to find, they are discontinued. Yes. So things that are not easily available. It's not like you want to buy this particular part and you can find it like 20 different websites that are selling it. It's not. It is something that is super hard to find that, you got to come to me if I have it, or somebody else that has it. So that's my focus.
Okay, so Eugene is not a local player, he's a global player, and it's such a proud. I mean, I know you are in this business for so long, but today I learned that you're not just like a local player. You are a global hub for rare Japanese spare parts. That is amazing, man. That to me is inspiring.
I guess I started early. 10 years ago, not many people were doing this. So I kind of established the brand name a bit earlier than most people. And the funny thing is, a lot of my customers overseas, they actually have no idea that JDM Autolink is in Malaysia.
It's okay lah. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as the money arrives from them. That's how much.
It doesn't matter, of course. But I just find it very, very funny that some of them will think that I'm in Japan. Some of them will think that I'm in Australia. Some of them will think I'm in the US. So I mean, internet is global. There's no boundaries.
Hey, but bro, I mean, if this is a business secret, you don't want to answer, I can understand. But I assume you would need to have like a group of people who are like your eyes and ears in Japan to source for these parts, right?
Okay, most of the sourcing I do myself. So I look for parts myself. But aside from that, I do have a couple of Japanese guys, partners over there to help me to get stuff. So yes, you're right. You need to have people over there to help you out. Especially a lot of, I don't know whether you're aware or many people are aware, but a lot of Japanese companies does not like to deal with people overseas.
Mm.
So all these junior shops and all, if you send them a message or you call them up and you speak in English, they don't want to layan you. So you need a local guy there to be the intermediary for all of these transactions.
But with this in mind, I'm sure your initial years of setting up the business must have been very, very challenging, isn't it?
I started small. It's not that, I started with a big bang and opened up a shop and everything. Yeah. I started small at home. That's how it began. I don't have a shop. It's all from home until I have enough of savings, enough of capital to, okay, I think it's time to get a shop. Compounded by the fact that I'm running out of space at home. So everything needs to get out from the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Eugene, Bobby asked you a very interesting question. Can you speak Japanese?
No, I can't.
Wow, that's you have been dealing with.
There exists one thing called Google Translate.
Hey, but Google Translate wasn't as refined when you started your business, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That is why having a Jap guy there helps a lot. Having a Jap guy that speaks good English helps a lot.
How did you even find this guy then?
This guy is an importer of cars and motorbikes to the States. So his job is actually to buy cars. Exporter. He exports cars from US to Japan. He brings on American cars, American bikes to Japan. And he can speak good English. So I use him as my intermediary. And I met him a couple of times.
Yeah. I think sometimes in life, right? Our journey in life, right? There are people. There are people along the way that show up at the right time that enable you to achieve something. Right.
Sometimes things just falls into place. Unexplainable, but it just falls into place.
Yeah. Sometimes. No, can't avoid luck. I think we need to acknowledge that sometimes luck plays a role in determining our pathway. We can't run away from that. But of course, that being said, there's no replacing all the luck in the world. Won't help you if you don't put the work into to do it lah. Yeah. So,
but like I say, if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not really working anymore. It's fun.
I can see you really enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, and honestly, for me, I'm also privileged enough to be in a line of work that I enjoy doing. I've been in this for 10 years, a bit more than 10 years, and I still look for, and although the specifics of my job role have changed over the years, right? But I still enjoy what I'm doing. I still wake up every day, ready and raring to go, itching to, hey, what can be done today? What can be done today? And all that. So, what you said is very, very true. Very, very true. And I think the important lesson that we all can learn is that, a lot of people will say that, people buy sports cars, people buy expensive cars, very expensive hobby, right? But you see, Eugene saw an opportunity in this expensive hobby to make a living and to make a very good living, right? It supported you through your GTI, helped you raise your family. Now you buy your S2000 and all that. So I think you have made a very, very good, you have built a very good business for yourself, right?
It's not bad lah. It's enough to put on the table. That is what matters.
Yes. A few weeks back, I spoke with another of our viewer, Matthew. He drives a Porsche Cayenne, and Porsche Cayenne with air suspensions are damn expensive, right? So he decided, screw it. I fix air suspension myself. Now I charge people for the service. And amongst my circle of in BMW groups, there are more than one fella who, after years of pouring money into their BMWs, decided, screw it, I'm starting my own workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do it for yourself,
Yeah.
like the air suspension guy, like Matthew,
Yeah.
you can do it for other people as well.
Exactly.
And make a living out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So I have asked all the questions I have to ask from you, but if you have the time, I'm going to read the comments and pick up questions to ask. So first one, I have to pick up comment from my boss lah. Okay. Bobby asks you, Jin, are JDMs overpriced these days?
It is overpriced, but the market demands it so. When there's transacted value for it, that becomes essentially the market price.
Yeah.
No. But how do I put it this way? If you know prices from back then to now, you would definitely feel overpriced. For example, NSX. Back then is 180,000.
Yeah.
Now it's double up. Or R34 GTR. Back then, when I buy my 34, it was 280,000.
280.
Now, yeah, 280,000. Back in 2006,
yeah,
was 280,000. Now you pick up a respec, 460,000.
Double.
Double. It is overpriced, but there is worldwide demand for it. And when there's worldwide demand for it, you basically can't do anything if you want it. You just got to pay what the market demands for.
Yeah. Basically, when there is more demand than supply, right? The fellas at the supply end can really jack up the price as they want, man.
Right. The issue now is the worldwide demand.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to outdo each other with pricing. And that essentially jacks up everything.
But, so you think that is less of a factor than the Malaysian government now restricting what they call it, classic APs to 35 years and above?
It's not just classic AP. It's also student AP. So yes, you're right. They stopped APs, classic AP from 25 to 35.
Yeah.
And now people can't bring in these cars anymore.
Yeah.
The other way was student AP. That also was stopped.
Yeah.
And now they can't bring in cars via student AP anymore.
Yeah.
So if you need to buy a car, you need to buy a car which is already here in our soil.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Yeah. So it's those few owners who really can decide what is basically they name their price and whether you want or don't want only, right?
The thing with all these owners is that the community is not that big. Everybody know each other.
Yeah.
So when these guys that own the same car,
yeah,
they get together,
yeah,
they determine the price. That becomes the market price.
Yeah.
If all the owners agree to say, look guys, we are not going to sell this car if it doesn't reach this value. If I want 200 for it, everybody will sell at 200 for it. So when that is determined by this group of owners, that has become the market price, that de facto market price.
Yeah. Somebody shared the link to your old blog in our comment section. er34.blogspot.com.
Yes.
And Chuchu commented, legendary website. I think your website must have gotten quite a bit of following, man, back in the time.
Yes, at that time blog was the hit lah. You blog about everything.
Yeah.
And it is via that blog which I connected with a lot of people all over the world.
Yeah.
It has become one of the places where current owners of the car will go to learn more about the car, or prospective owners to learn more about the car.
Yeah. And when you own this kind of cars, you must have this kind of resources at hand to know what to expect.
And that blog is what, like I told you, made me realize that there is a market for it.
Yeah.
When people start to ask me, where do you get this? How to get this?
Okay, I got something to make you feel good. Z Music says, Mr. Chan Eu Jin is looking younger and better looking in video now. Okay. Weakness Warren Rajan says they are now going to promote their car wash business. Yes, guys, Evo Club Car Wash. Those of you guys looking to invest in a new business, sign up today. Okay, club.evomalaysia.com. Hey, Eugene, you want to join?
Good time. I PM you later.
Lie, come. We will try to give you best savings package. Okay, Darren says door behind me mysteriously opening and closing. That's my daughter. Yeah. So okay, Darren says to reply to Bobby, Eugene, can you speak Japanese? Darren Chang replies, he speaks Honda and Nissan only. Johnny Adams says, I thought this dude was an accountant.
Oh, I'm just a guy with a calculator.
Hey, so is that the calculator you use every time to calculate average savings?
Yeah, this is my trusty calculator.
Oh, frame that. Somebody screen cap and frame that. Okay, here's somebody asking for advice. Ben. He also used to drive a banana just like you. Now he drives an ECR33. May I know which Honda car should I buy now?
NSX. I know which band is this. I know which band is this. Band by NSX.
NSX. Hey, how much is an NSX now?
I think automatic ones goes for 280,000. Manual ones 320.
Hey, okay, well, it's not as expensive as I imagined it to be.
Yeah, but of course there are some people advertising for $500,000.
Yeah. But the fact is that your market value of any car is determined by the lowest unit, right? Yeah. So Eugene, one more question for you. What do you think you will move on to after the S2000, or what is in your mind right now that you may add next to your S2000?
You know, I'm a kind of guy who don't like modern cars, so it's gonna be an old car again.
Yeah.
And the couple of cars that I personally like would be old cars like AE86.
Okay.
FD3S RX7.
Somehow I somehow imagine RX7 will be one of your answers.
GC8 two-door.
Oh, nice.
This is the GC8 Type R, the two-door version.
Yeah.
And a bit out of reach would be the NSX.
But NSX, honestly, at let's say I assume you're going for the manual one, right? At 320,000 is not really that out of reach, right?
Oh, maybe not for you. It is for me.
No, because it is out of reach for me also. But the fact is, if you're looking, because earlier we mentioned 460 grand for an R34, then I think 300 grand for an NSX is not bad value at all.
You know why? You can't compare the two because the R34 is a Japan market only car. Whereas the NSX is a worldwide car. It is sold officially in the States. It is sold officially in UK, in Australia.
Okay. So
that is the difference.
So there's a bigger volume of global supply for that car, lah.
Alright. The only difference is left hand drive and right hand drive.
But it doesn't matter, right? Because you what it means is that for buyers around the world, they have multiple places where they can source these cars.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
You can't compare it with the 34 where production numbers are not that many. And it's only officially available in Japan, except that small batch that was sold by Nissan UK.
Yeah, actually, to tell you something, I have an R34 also, but it's like this small, and my daughter broke the spoiler already. So that day I tagged you in Facebook, asked you to help me find new spoiler. Okay, there's some more interesting comments. Bobby says one of his neighbors sold his S2000 for an RX-7. And Bobby again says Eugene wants a 640i Cabriolet.
No, thank you.
Darren says no, he wants my Renault Kangoo to move his car parts around. Okay, here's an interesting question from Austin Yap. Why RX-8 depreciate value while RX-7, especially FD, appreciates so much? Actually, this is something that I'm also curious, Why is there such a big disparity between RX-8 and RX-7 prices, besides the performance factor?
But this is just my opinion. Two-door versus four-door. Timeless design. And performance.
Okay.
The RX-8 is not turbo. RX-7 is turbo. Yeah. You buy an RX-7 now. You park it in Burma's in the showroom floor. To the unassuming people who walk into the showroom, they will not know this car is from the 90s. It looks just as nice and relevant now as it was back then.
I get what you mean. Yes. Okay, yes.
Whereas the RX-8 doesn't carry that image.
The RX-8 actually does look a bit dated next to the current gen Mazda models.
Yes, but it's not to say that it's not a good car. RX-8 is an excellent car. Handles really well.
Yes.
50-50 distribution.
My colleague Nas will testify to that. Okay, here's another comment from Ben, your good friend. What's your opinion comparing Porsche 997 versus NSX of the same budget range?
Oh, that depends. The most important thing you need to know is which 997. If it's a Tiptronic 997, I'd rather have the NSX. If it's a PDK 997, it's a different story. And if it's a manual 997, no-brainer. 997 manual transmission. That you will yield a lot of money when you sell.
True. Kelvin Look comments, there is actually a Hong Kong, New Zealand, UK and Singapore model for 34, but its total is less than 200 units worldwide, and that includes non-GTR models. 34, so small numbers, one.
I think total production, I could be wrong. Somebody please check. I think it's about 11,000 units in total.
Wow.
It's not many.
I didn't know 34 is that limited in terms of its production.
Yeah. So, you look at the GR Yaris, like, wow, 25,000 units production, very limited edition. Like, come on. The whole GTR is half of that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Here's another, Bobby comment that RX-7 exterior, he agrees, it's modern looking, but he says interior tak boleh lah. But this is, I think, a fair comment. Japanese interior from the 90s memang very bland in terms of their design, right? Yeah. Okay, Seng Pang asked you a question that I think you may sangkut a bit, or you may not. Which Continental car would Eugene choose if given a choice? Okay, this one got you, didn't it?
I actually kind of like the Cayman. But it has to be manual transmission.
Which generation Cayman?
Not the first one lah.
Not the first one lah.
Anyone after the first one is fine.
But not the latest one either lah.
No, that one is no.
For me, I don't know, because I drove the 718 Cayman, right? And as impressed as I was with the handling, right, I felt a bit the engine made it really flat, right? To me, the 2-liter turbo engine, right, really sort of like took a bit of soul out of the car. So whenever people say they want to buy a Cayman, right, I always tell them go and look at the 981 or before that, you know, where at
The
least
older ones, yeah.
you still have a 6-cylinder engine, a flat 6 engine.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Nicholas Kwa asks, another limited production performance car, still not rocket yet, FD2R. I just want to agree. I agree actually. But
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think of the FD2R? Do you see that car up enough to consider it as a performance car?
I've told a lot of people last year until now, if you have the money, buy the FD2R. Actually, the price has already gone up already. When the FD2R reached its 9-year, 10-year limit, prices plummet because there's no more loan.
Yeah.
And now it has actually increased already.
Yeah.
But FD2R will be a good investment. That will be the last NA real Type R from Honda. Subsequent Type Rs from there onwards is not the real Type R. It's not made in Japan. Yeah. It's not designed in Japan.
Yeah.
No, that is the last proper, maturely aspirated CB Type R. Yes, you will make money if you hold on to it.
I remember I had the privilege of trying the FD2R in Sepang, and I think until today, right, that is my most memorable manual gear change ever. It's like, you know, that sensation when you bang the gear into each gear, tap, 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 so precise, so smooth. Yeah, I think until today, that is my favorite gear change of all time. And a few years back, I had a chance to go to Europe to try the FK8R. Impressive car, impressive performance, but yeah, it makes you it takes a bit of occasion out of the driving. It makes you feel like a driving god in a bit, right? Because there are a lot more electronics, a lot more driving aids, right? So it makes going fast a lot easier than it was in the FD2R, but the experience becomes less involving. It becomes more detached.
Yeah. I drove the FK8R when it was launched as well.
Yeah.
It's fast. And it's super comfortable even on 20-inch tires.
Yes, the comfort part was impressive, I have to say.
20-inch wheels and it's so comfortable.
Yes.
But it just doesn't give you the feeling of driving a Type R.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in most situations, I would expect the FK8R to outrun the FD2R in most situations. But I would think the FD2R driver will still have the wider smile when everything is over. Yeah,
it's just like the 32, 33, 34 fellas looking at R35. Yes, it's a faster car.
Yeah,
but they will still stick to the one.
Yeah. Wait, let's see what other comments.
Okay.
Lee Hauser asks, many JDM I want to buy. Century, LFA.
Oh.
Yeah, that one crazy lah, huh? Bobby says the only JDM car he wants to buy is the FD2R.
There's a silver one for sale. I saw it on Aurizn website.
Bobby, buy. Ron Yo asks, is your S2000 for sale or not?
At the right price.
At the right price. Ron, make Eugene an offer at the right price. Give you a tip. It has to be 6 figures. Minimum must have a 2 in front. Or now right. 3 already.
No. We are reasonable. Still 2.
No lah. S2000 cannot sell more than NSX lah.
No. No.
Okay, Austin asked you a question here. What is do you define what is defined as JDM? Mitsubishi Eclipse or RWB 911?
RWB.
You feel RWB is more JDM than Eclipse?
It's like, okay, RWB has its fans and has its haters.
Yeah.
You know, if you're curious, you royally hate it.
Yeah.
So, but it is kind of essentially like a JDM Porsche already. It's kind of like giving your car to singer, and when it comes out, it's a single Porsche. So when you give your Porsche to RWB, it comes out not as a Porsche, but an RWB Porsche.
Yeah.
It has its own style.
Yeah.
It has its own following.
Yeah.
It's basically like a cult.
Yeah.
And it's JDM AF because it's a Japanese guy who makes it, all of them.
Yeah. The the craftsmanship of that guy is amazing, man.
Yeah. The first car in Asia was in Bangkok. And when it was done, I flew in to meet the owner and see the car in his house. And that was my first RWB that I saw in Asia. It's in Bangkok, and I flew in to see it. It's amazing. But like I say, it has its haters, it has its fans.
Yeah.
But I would see myself liking it.
Yeah.
But I would not see myself having one in my garage.
Yeah.
If I can afford it. Yeah.
RWB, right? To me, I look at RWB, right? It's something that I appreciate. I really admire and appreciate that his handcraft. But I wouldn't want to see him work on too many cars because every car that he produced means that there is one less 911 in its original condition out there already, So what he produced is something worth admiring, but I wouldn't wish I would wish that only a small amount of 911 owners ever, do it. Or if he were to do this in a more modern 911, like the current 992, by all means, go do as many as you want, right? But if it's the classics, I would rather that, he just do that feel and the world have that feel there to admire, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're in luck because, every car is handcrafted by him.
Yeah.
There is only so many cars that he can do in a year.
Yeah.
And in the past 1 year, there's obviously 0 cars made.
Yeah, of course. Here's another question. Somebody asking, why fake dog EK9 can sell over 100K?
Willing buyer, willing seller, man.
Willing buyer, willing seller. Willing buyer, willing seller. So, So, there's somebody who said, just don't. There are not a lot of fans of the FK8R among the people who are watching. Us. Yeah. Okay. So Eugene, thank you so much for joining us. Absolute pleasure talking to you. It's almost 10 p.m.
Thank you.
I think you and I both need to return to our kids.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Just remember, we will be watching every time when the deal of the day goes up. All of Aurizn will be watching. When is Eugene commenting?
I'll be ready with this.
Yes.
And I'll be commenting.
Yes. But guys, I hope the bigger takeaway from everybody here, all right, is that Eugene here has shown that with the right investment of effort, right, anything, your hobby, your passion can be a source of income, can be a source of living. So Eugene here took the plunge, a very brave plunge, blew his savings on his dream car, all right, and after that it inspired him to start a business to source for Japanese parts, rare as Japanese parts. That now that started that he grew a blog, and then people from around here started going to him, asking him to source for parts, and then as it expanded, now people from other parts of the world are also buying parts from him. So, bro, it's great listening to your story. It's very inspirational. I thought I knew you for a while, for a few years already, but it turns out that there are things about you that I did not know before this, and I come to learn today. Yeah. So
low profile, man. Low.
Yeah. So great to have you with us, and yeah, and hopefully after MCO, when it's safe to do so, we would like, if you don't mind, we would like to visit your shop, check out if drop by or maybe have coffee near your area for
Sure, most welcome, man.
Proper face-to-face catch up when it's safe to do so lah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. Let's pray. Everybody, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you guys again for the next live video Q&A or we know that on this Friday, guys, tune in to Thomas Yap channel. He will be speaking with Beng on the next chapter of her adventure. And for those of you guys, if you want to just to let you know, this interview, this chit chat session with Eugene will be uploaded into my YouTube channel, which you guys can rewatch any parts of it. And yeah, to
What do I do? What do I do?